Yo, yo, weekly batch analysis. Week, what is this? 52, I think. I didn't think I had any trades because of Christmas and all that jazz, but turns out I actually do. Check Notion, check Miro, and hey, there's some trades. So let's take a look at them, I guess. It's gonna be the last week. Yeah, last week. I don't think there's gonna be any trades this week. I did check the markets, but it all looks trash. So, yeah. Let's just go into this one. So 52, I went over this last week. There's nothing really to add. I do plan on making some kind of recap video where I consolidate all of my knowledge and current understanding. I tend to do that every now and then. I did go through quite a few refinements this year and made some nice simplifications and so on. So I'm probably going to like put it all together neatly so that I can start fresh next year. Anyway, let's go here. So Monday, quite a lot actually. Quite a lot of stuff. So UK 100 has been on the watch list for a while. Of course, the weekly trend is insane. Like even though the weekly and daily trend have been so big, I didn't get too many trades on this, which is quite interesting. Oh, I did a big back test on silver recently, and I might talk about that later. I actually had some interesting thoughts and ideas regarding some new rules. Anyway, UJ has been quite interesting. Yup. Silver, of course. Silver has been the leading metal, going absolutely insane. This looks like some liquid crypto shitcoin, you know, insane price action. It did like 50% in a month. Wow. And gold lagging behind a little bit, but still very strong asset. All right, so not expecting any trades. Okay, but I did get some trades. Cool. So we have some gold trade here. Let's check it out. So we already know that the context on gold is very good, so I can just stick here to my EVCC or whatever and start with the 60 minutes. So on the 60 minutes, there was some kind of stage one here or whatnot, and we broke out very strong, pulled back into the rising 1020. This looks like a really nice MMB. This looks really good, and the expectation is bullish, of course. Here we go to the 6 minutes. Pretty nice stage two over here, and starts going sideways. This is already a reaccumulation, so I definitely want to see some stage one breakout. And stage one is, of course, going to be defined by some support and resistance, right, which we do have over here. And here we have a pretty nice breakout. We're going to see that on the 1 minute. Yep, very strong breakout. Comes back over here. I bet this liquidated this, didn't it? Yeah, oof. This I don't like, man. This is like, when this happens, usually, uh, price grabs liquidity and then it usually wants to find some liquidity on the bottom before it continues higher. So this is a bit of uh, it's a bit sus. Let's just call it that. But anyway, 10 seconds, right? Big stage two, clearly flushes out, and from there starts a little run, reaccumulates, and goes higher. I think this trade is really nice. It makes a lot of sense. I mean, here it liquidates something very clearly, and yeah, the trade does make sense, but given the fact that this liquidated the range high, the floating supply, so to say, even though the expectation is continuation, I'm not quite like it susses me out a little bit. I don't know the result of this, but yeah. Well, ultimate question, right? Would I take this trade again? Hmm. Hmm. Honestly, like after such a big push, I would probably rather see it flush out a little bit more. Hmm. I don't know, man. Like this thingy really susses me out a lot. But it's a good trade. Like it follows rules really well. I really need to focus on this. Like I don't have enough data to make a decision whether I want to trade these things or not. I would much rather see a strong breakout above this level and then a react like this. That would be so nice. But yeah, this does follow rules pretty well. So let's see what I did here. Got slipped hard as fuck on this. A win will be only +4. Positive thinking. Nice. All right, so I reduced risk after this. You can see that I accounted for spread, and it slipped me like double spread. So that's pretty insane. Like Man, that's really, really bad. Should not happen. Anyway, went higher, right? So I go risk free, and and then motherfucker slipped me on the way down too. Okay, so it's a minus 0.2. Ah, yeah, 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 I see. So I was risk free here, and this big candle just slipped me down really hard. Okay, so this trade was overall minus 0.4, including commissions. Okay, okay. So let's see what happens. Yeah, minus 0.4. But yeah, it followed rules kinda well, so I'm gonna give it a good. I'm gonna give it a good. The question is, if all of my trades looked like this, would I be happy with them? I don't know about this little thingy over here. Maybe if in doubt, stay out. You know, like just don't take these trades. Maybe I would do better. I don't know. Need to get more data on this. But if this wasn't the case, then yes, I would love this trade. So, yeah, that's that. So overall, on the validation, how do I call this? I don't even have a tag for it. So it's something to do with floating supply, liquidated floating supply. I guess. I guess I'm gonna call it that. And where do I put this? Somewhere higher. So maybe somewhere over here. Okay. And overall, this trade was good. So yeah, nice, nice. Max RR 4.28. Okay. So that's the first one. And let's go into the next one. So it's gold yet again. So here we are. Previously, I was trading over here to capture profit here. Makes a lot of sense. And now this is MMB1. This would be MMB2. Continuation, of course, makes sense. Cool. So here we broke out really, really choppy, ugly, but then we broke out again and reaccumulated. Okay, so we break through all of this nonsense. That's pretty nice. Like this diagonal, like the reason why I draw it in is I can only draw it in if it's a nice flagging pullback, right? Like it's impossible to draw in a diagonal if it does something like this, you know. So I like to see this, and then I like to see a breakout above the last wave up. Okay, so here, if I was to draw the waves, right, I would draw it something like this. And you could argue maybe it's this one, but no, not really. Like this low held, so this is not a new low. Therefore, the high that I'm looking at is this one. So I want to see it break out, which happens over here. And on the 1 minute, what do we have? Well, we have a stage one over here, maybe like this whole thing. So this would be pullback one, pullback two. So we are definitely not overextended. That's cool. Here, stage two, very nice. Pulls back again. I can draw the diagonal, very nice. And this is the point that I want to see it go above. It does. Then it reaccumulates over here, and this is the DMB entry. I think this entry is really nice. Yeah. Stop below all of this. Could probably be a little bit tighter. But overall, this does make a lot of sense. This is a nice MMB. Yep, I do like this trade. What do I say about it? Oh, it's outside of my session. I see. I wasn't trading at the time. All right. So if I had traded, so I would get tapped in where? Over here. It would go sideways for quite some time. But I think on the 1 minute, the momentum cycle was still intact, right? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like you can see that the EMAs are quite a bit below, so this has a lot of space to go sideways. And then it just goes bonkers, okay? So after this, I would be risk-free. I could probably be risk-free after like these candles already. I don't need to wait for a fractal pullback if it has such a big reaction. Like price has no business going back down. It really doesn't. So yeah, makes sense. And yeah, this comes all the way back to break even. Okay. Overall, I think this trade was really nice though. Good trade. This was good. I would go as far as calling this perfect. I really like this. Perfect trade. Okay. Perfect. Good. Okay, and that's it. That's all for whatever this was, Monday. Okay, so two nice trades here. Both on gold. Yep. Makes a lot of sense. Gold was one of the assets that I was watching in good context, and it's set up on the lowers. All rules were followed. Yeah, I like this a lot. Very good. Okay, moving on. So Monday is done. Tuesday. I do have some trades on Tuesday. So Tuesday, I think, is the 23rd, one day before Christmas. Okay. I did not expect to take any trades, but looks like I did. Cool. So silver, the strongest asset of them all. Makes sense to look for trades on it. So what do we have here? We have some kind of stage two, right? Okay, some kind of reaccumulation here, moves higher, gets a little bit choppy over here. Here it liquidates some stuff, so looks like a nice reaccumulation. And from there, what do we have on the 6 minute? A very, very strong move higher. Pullback one, pullback two. So definitely ripe area to trade, in my opinion. So if I take a look at the 1 minute over here, very strong stage two. I do like that. Here we have our flagging pullback. We have our stage one and all of that jazz. And what do we do here? So it breaks out, and here I would be looking for an entry. So what am I doing here? So I'm looking for an entry through this high. That makes a lot of sense. Okay. Mm, okay, so what happens over here? So we do have some kind of like boop over here, right? And this, okay, so it does go higher. That's fine. Maybe I don't trade silver on the 10-second, but this would be a valid entry, I assume. That would make a lot of sense. But the entry here, so I'm also looking at this, I guess, at the inside ICI. The stop, ooh, I think the stop should be quite a bit wider. Here, if I'm to take a stop through this, I really need to see some kind of consolidation before that. So I hope that happens. All I'm currently seeing is that it's pumping higher. So, like, it makes a lot of sense to look for an entry through this, but I don't know, man. The stop looks really, really questionable. So let's take a look what happens. So it turns out I don't take this because it looks weird. Okay, this is based on new rules and I don't want to take a real risk on it yet. Yeah, that makes total sense because this is something I've been testing, just like not paying attention to how the MB2 looks like. Here the MB2 is kind of ugly, right? It loses the EMAs and all of that. But I've been trying to let go of this over refinement a little bit because, well, Anton doesn't do it and he probably doesn't do it for a reason. And I'm just focusing on the clear highs to buy stop within the reaccumulation, which makes a lot of sense, right? But I did not take this. I just forward tested it. Makes sense. So I'm still interested to see how this plays out. Yep, makes sense. And what happens in here? Wait, what is that? The trade? That's a different trade. This is a different trade, isn't it? Wait a second. Yeah, this is a different trade. Is it? I don't even have that here. So 2312, 2312. At what time is this taken? 1515. This one is taken at 19 something. Ooh, I see. So that means that I am missing one trade here. So I need to fix that. So boop, take this down. Okay. Copy this. Boop, put that here. Make it same size. There we go. Put it in here. Okay. Now I can take this, put it back where it belongs. Very nice. Boop. Okay. So this one, I also need to write the didn't take thingy. So didn't take, cool. I didn't take this one either. So this one was taken at 1515. Okay, okay. So I see. So let me analyze this one then. All right. So here, this one looks much, much better, I would say. Yeah, this looks like a really, like an ongoing momentum cycle that just had a big push higher. Cool, and here it pulls back into the first MB, I would say, on the 6 minute. That's pretty nice. Strong stage 2 over here. Reaccumulates, right? Allows me to draw this, okay? And here, I see. Okay, so here we have the first wave of buying, right? That reaccumulates, the low overall holds, so I'm valid to buy stop this. Those are the new rules. I'm not really taking this right now. And so what would happen? Well, I think this literally just taps me in and fucks me up, or what's going on here? Uh, I, I don't understand what's going on here. Like I write -1, but I am so confused, man. I'm not even gonna lie. I'm so confused. Did did this tap me in? No way. So it went here. My buy stop is here. This is before it taps me in though. Okay, well, you know what that means. I'm just gonna have to find this. Oh well, what can you do? So let's go to silver over here, and yeah, I did the back test, of course. 23 at what? At like 15. Okay, let's do 16. So replay 23rd at like 16 o'clock. Boop, select that. Okay. So this is the entry. So 1 minute and let's do 10 seconds here. Okay. Now I can see it. So that taps me in and instantly fucks me up. So boop, let's go here. That's where we can see it. So mark up the entry real quick. Boop. Okay. I guess I got a little bit sloppy with the journaling, especially since I didn't take that trade. So let me delete this. Boom, -1. And let's also put that over here. Boom. Okay. -1.2. But I think I did not take this trade, right? Yep, I didn't. But yeah, either way, if I had taken this trade, based on your rules, it would be completely valid, I think. So this is good. This is good. I see these trades working out so often. So what this is, we have a stage 2, right? It starts reaccumulating. Then it puts in the first wave of buying, so to say. That reaccumulates. Some lows get liquidated, and that makes it valid to buy stop this. As long as this low, the low of the sell-off holds, it's valid to buy stop here. So even if it does this and has a strong reaction, this needs to be very strong, making this a spring, then yeah, it's valid to take it. So that makes it valid, and I'm happy with this trade, even though I didn't take it. So decision overall was good. And it's closed. All right, that's all. And I have one more trade here, again on silver. And did I take this one? Looks like I did actually take this one. Okay, so that's the one that I looked at previously. I actually want to see how that plays out. So let's check it out. So taps me in over here, fucks around a little bit, and gets a -1. So price is pretty much at a decision point here, right? When it comes to our entries, what I have noticed is that the best entries are entries that are decision points, right? So if we have something like this, right? This is a decision point. If it wants to go higher here, it's going to liquidate this high in order to move higher aggressively. But if the intention of all of this is redistribution, it's just going to tap me in and instantly fuck me up for redistribution. Those are, in my opinion, the best losses, at least from what I have noticed. So these are the types of losses that I need to take in order to potentially catch the wins, right? There is no winning in trading without taking risk, and there is no taking risk without taking losses. So these are, in my opinion, very good losses. So overall, I'm pretty happy with this trade. I think it's good. This is most definitely a nice reaccumulation. I mean, I could even take a look at the 10-second or something, not to trade it, but just to see the structure. This was very clearly a reaccumulation, and here it moved higher. So, like, the only thing that might be a little bit weird was that I got tapped in after such a big run, right? Ideally, I would like to see this whole thing just below my entry, and then I wouldn't mind like buy stopping. So maybe this is a little bit questionable. Like big pump into it. I don't know. But overall, I'm gonna give this trade a good. Okay. And that is all. So overall, good. Good. Okay. I don't think I had any other trades. Wednesday was Christmas, so most definitely not. Thursday, no, nothing. And Friday, nothing. Okay, so if I go into analysis here, what am I going to see? So I'm going to see these four trades. Cool. So overall, I am down 1.4, but actually I'm down more than that, I believe. I believe I'm down more than that uh, because I got slipped and stuff. So this is a minus 0.4, and this is a minus 1.2. Okay, so in total, minus 1.6. Cool. So what am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? Okay, result minus 1.6. Had I traded perfectly? I don't know. Let me check. Did I make any mistakes actually? I'm not sure. Uh, what's going on here? Okay. So it adds this trade that I didn't take. Aha, like this. Okay, so it would be exactly the same. Makes sense. So, yeah, what went well is patience. Definitely what went bad. I don't think anything went bad. Patience was good, followed rules, and results are the same. Cool, cool, cool. What's this? I don't know what this is. Okay, just drawing in some rules here. Okay, okay, makes sense. So, let's take this, put it here. And this is actually the last week, so there's no need to even put this here because I'm not going to add anything here. I'm going to start a new Miro for next year, so this is the work of an entire year. Very cool. I will go over it and do that consolidation thingy. But yeah, this is nice. This is a lot of work. All right. So what else do I want to do? This week table. I need to fill in the forward test. So let's do that. Also gonna start a new sheet here. Uh, yeah, what sucks is that, well, if I filtered out stocks, I would be doing much, much better. Like my stock plays sucked ass. They were really, really bad. Anyway, this is a trade on gold taken on the 23rd, I believe. No, 22nd. 22 December, right? Yes. 1407. And it's a minus zero point 0.4. And I have a silver trade here that's taken on the 23rd at 1951, quite late, and that's a minus 1.2. Okay. So minus 25R, that sucks ass. That's really bad. I don't like that at all. But it is what it is. Like, after refining my rules very nicely, I kinda got this leg up. But then, like, the stock place really got me down. I wonder if I filtered out stocks. I think I can do that, actually. I think I can do that. So yeah, if I just filter out stocks, I would be up another 4R. Okay, that's cool. My stock plays have been horrible. So technically, technically, I would be down only, well, only, quote unquote, 21R. So not that much of a big difference, but I don't know if I did a lot of mistakes. Honestly, I don't think I did. Just so happens that the markets were pretty bad. I don't want to blame the market for my performance, but at the same time, like, it is what it is, right? Like, the markets have been pretty bad. Oh, and I actually wanted to talk a little bit about the silver backtest. So I did a little bit of a backtest on silver here. Let's go to the daily. And I started testing pretty much here, from here, right? From this point on, after this candle. Once this candle came in, that was my directional trigger candle, and I tested this entire thing. Okay, and it was quite interesting because I thought, okay, this is such a huge, huge trend. I will probably get a lot of trades and a lot of wins. But actually, not really, to my surprise. So, fuck off. Okay, so on the 60 minutes, this is where I started. And I have quite a lot of trades. I guess you can see it here in the green. Lots of losses, lots of BEs. To be fair, I was super not lazy with my rules, but I was kind of taking even B and C tier setups just to see how this whole idea of throwing darts at a good context would work. I just wanted to see if almost any entry would get me a lot of trades and a lot of wins. And to my surprise, no, not at all. I was just getting chopped up non-stop. So I only had 4 wins. Also, let me go forward. Yep. I only had 4 or 5 wins here, and I just paid attention to what made those wins possible. And there is one thing that it has in common. And granted, this is only a single asset, so I cannot make an overarching global rule of it just yet. But it does give me a general idea of what I want to pay attention to. And what I have realized is that the wins come after a big, big move on some of the higher time frames. Okay, so if I am a 1 minute trader or a 10-second trader or whatever, like the best, like most reliable trades came after a big move on like a higher time frame, like a 60 or well, like a 1 hour or a 4 hour. And usually it comes from a candle that pushes out of some kind of stage one. Like very often you might think, okay, so at this point I should have gotten maybe I should have gotten trades over here or something below the floating supply and here get my profit and here take my profit. But actually no. Like from what I have seen is that if I get my entries over here on a valid momentum cycle on a lower time frame, let's say a 6 minute validation, these are the trades that tend to continue higher, 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 right? Because I have a very small stop. So I just need a small little move on the 60 to take my 5 hour profit or whatever. So here was my first win, right? So you can see a very strong momentum cycle and has a strong push out of a stage one. That was a win. Beautiful. All of this, where I would expect wins, was nothing. Like BEs maybe minus ones, whatever. Okay, BEs minus ones. Okay, here maybe again, I was very, very lazy with the rules. Maybe these trades could be completely filtered out after the first momentum cycle failed or whatnot. Okay, here, this is a nice example. This could have been a nice win or whatnot, but it wasn't. So following here made a lot of sense. Following here made a lot of sense. Following here made a lot of sense, but none of these were wins at all. Just gotten chopped up. Okay, so here big big dump, so I just want to see it continue above this. Okay, boom. Here this makes a lot of sense but actually doesn't deliver. I think this is a BE. This makes a lot of sense, doesn't deliver. Okay, and here it goes sideways, right, and then breaks out big time. And here I do get 2 trades and both of them are beautiful, beautiful wins, right? But it's after a big, big move, even on the 60, like already a couple of candles higher. First MMB sideways goes there. Beautiful. Here I would still follow, follow, follow. Okay, here I followed probably a -1. Here I followed, yeah, big move, still active momentum cycle. Like the big candles are already in after I start following, right? And there was another win, and then I followed here. That makes a lot of sense, but actually that doesn't go higher, just reaccumulates, continues higher over here. Big candle, that's where I get another win. Yeah, beautiful. So that's what I have noticed, that there is usually at least one, sometimes 2 to 3 huge, huge candles on the 60 when I get my best wins. So that was kind of surprising to me. I honestly expected a much, much better EV. And if I filtered it out based on this rule, yeah, I would be very positive EV on this whole silver run. So I'm going to be doing a lot of backtesting in 2026 just to refine my edge even more, especially if the markets continue being super lazy and uneventful. But even if they are active, I'm still gonna backtest. I have some ideas that I want to test. For example, like with the floating supply stuff, right? And yeah, I think 2026 is going to be the year. I've been saying that for a while, but I'm actually really glad that I've been delaying my active participation in the markets. First of all, because the markets were bad, and second of all, because, well, I figured out that there's still some kinks that I need to take care of, and the amount of progress that I have made in 2025 is honestly, I would say spectacular. I'm super super happy with the progress I have made, with all the refinements I made, with understanding myself as a trader and taking care of my emotional mistakes and all of that, especially with my impulsive decisions and yeah, just getting to know myself better and ensuring that I don't make these mistakes again. Like every single week, I would be taking notes here of what went good, what went bad, right, and redefining my focus. Yeah, it was good. It has been very good. So yeah, probably a bit of a longer video because I had a lot of other stuff to talk about, but that's fine. We'll see if I make another video or if I will do the recap just for myself. But yeah, I wish you all a nice rest of the year. 2 more days to go. And I wish you a lot of luck in 2026. I hope that's going to be our year. And I hope the markets are going to be a bit better. That would be nice too. All right. Peace out.